Right, ladies and gentlemen, it's another moment to thank the Almighty God for bringing us all this way. And it's a new year, the year 2026. Welcome to our first session of this year at Let's Voice podcast. We are very grateful to have this session and to have you as our audience today. And yes, we're here to talk about health. We're here to talk about sexual reproductive health, but we don't want to delve into the conversation of what is taught at school. We want to delve in the conversation of what is not taught at school. Hatutaki kwanza kuingilia mambo ya what is reproductive health, hizo tunafunzwa shuleni. But now I'm here with amazing guests. I would want to understand they would want to understand about reproductive health and on how what is not taught at school. For you as our audience today who is watching, we request you to follow us on our social media platforms. Follow us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook at Let's Voice Podcast. I'm going to be your host for today. My name is Javan Rollins, and welcome once again to Let's Voice Podcast, first session of the year. I'm here with amazing guests, and I'm going to give them a chance to introduce themselves so that you can get to know what they do in relation to sexual reproductive health. I'm going to start with my farthest right. Introduce yourself, tell us what you do.
Okay, thank you very much, team. Let's Voice Podcast, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm happy to join you today. Being a new year, I think it is a good beginning. My names are Gordon Owenga Koyo. I'm a clinician, and I'm also an advocate for reproductive health. So I feel very happy to join you today for a conversation. Thank you very much.
All right, Gordon. Even before you give the mic to our next guest, just tell us what a clinician is all about and what you do with, the SRH advocacy that you're doing.
Okay, being a clinician is a cadre where I'm a health practitioner, and what I deal with reproductive health. I advocate for conversation on the reproductive education, on especially touching on adolescent youth group and the population, on married people, on relationship, on so many issues around the reproductive health. It is a broad spectrum of health that affect especially young people.
Awesome. That is very great, and thank you for joining us today. We are going to have a session, and thank you very much. On to our next guest. How are you, sir?
Thank you. I'm fine, thank you. I'm happy to be here, and my name is Daluma Warombo. I am a clinician as well. I own a facility in Likoni, South Health Services. We are dealing with reproductive health issues ranging from contraceptives, teen pregnancy, and all matters related to reproductive health. I'm also the chair of the board of Reproductive Health Network Kenya, which is a great organization that is doing a lot of work in Kenya. We are in 43 counties, and we have about 540 clinicians and healthcare workers that are scattered in all these counties, and they are doing an amazing job. And I can say we are here to provide information and the right information on reproductive health.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. That is nice to hear that you are the part of the board. You said you're the chair? Yeah, of the board for clinicians across the country. So that means today we are having all clinicians in the house represented by you. Thank you very much. On to our third guest.
Yes. Thank you. I'm Thomas Ronel. I'm a youth advocate in Mombasa County, and I run a political party called Arise Kenya. Soon I'll be launching it. And under Mombasa County, there is a youth organization that it was launched just a previous day. It's called Mombasa Youth Council. I am there as a CS in agriculture. So I'm here to provide all things. I think this is not my first time talking about sex reproductive health. And I think we'll get to have more information and to help youth to understand what is sex reproductive health, because I think this is a topic that is based on us as this generation as youth. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much. Feel welcome to Let's Voice podcast once again. And I hope we're going to have an awesome conversation on matter sexual reproductive health. And yes, just to pick it from Thomas where you've left it. You've started it on a higher note and we're going to pick it from there. You've mentioned something about you being in politics. Yeah, so what do you think? How does politics influence sexual reproductive education and access in Kenya?
Faster. I think politics influence sexual reproductive health because the current leaders fear talking about this topic because they think their popularity will decrease. That's the thing. So leaders fear talking about this thing because they feel that they will gain a lot when it comes in platforms. Their popularity will decrease. So they'll have no followers. So this gives a vacuum for the youth to have leaders who will address them about this sexual reproductive health, and it creates a big vacuum. So leaders are engaging much in politics, are engaging much in businesses, not knowing there's something, this big topic called sexual reproductive health, that it is more important that youths need to be told in earlier, and they should get to know and have that knowledge on how to deal with sexual reproductive health. Yes.
Awesome. That is well noted and well taken. Now I want to throw it to Gordon Owenga.
Yes.
Gordon Owenga, I think this, like I said, we don't want to take it to the school aspect of it, on what is taught at school about sexual reproductive health. But now I want to understand, how does sexual and reproductive health connect to the overall wellness of someone, as well as the mental health of an individual?
Okay. Thank you very much for that nice question. You are asking how reproductive health affect the mental health of an individual, in short,
Yeah, sure.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Reproductive health has an aspect of touching an individual mental health, because it is touching different aspects of life, including identity, including relationships, including future plannings, and also even sexuality. And if you look at all this that I've mentioned, reproductive health can affect individual either positively or negatively. In positive direction, I would like to maybe tell you how it can affect an individual positively or negatively. If you look at the positive aspect, if you look at the way an individual, especially the adolescent, the unmarried people, and even the entire population, because when we talk of reproductive health here, we are looking at both men and women.
Yeah, sure.
Okay? And we are focusing especially on the young generation, because those are the people who really lack knowledge on it. If you look at how the reproductive health can lead to a peace of mind, especially when an individual gets correct information from a health provider. So it can lead to a peace of mind in terms of making decisions, making sound choices on health. And that is, you can see that is a positive direction on how it affects the mental health of an individual. Another point is that it can lead to a positive decision in having children, pregnancies, and even parenthood. You know, it is very easy for an individual to have that mind of taking care of a child who they really want. A child that you get by choice, not by chance. So if you get an information, a proper information on the reproductive health that helps you make a good choice in spacing your children, you will be like motivated to offer a good parenthood to the children, and that can be lead to a very good planning for your children, and that is gives you a healthy mind in offering such operations. Okay. Another point is that another negative point. Now let us look at the negative point of it. It can lead to anxiety. In fact, unending anxiety, where someone, for example, the young youth who really don't know what pregnancy is, they fear pregnancy a lot because they lack knowledge on health, and that fear leads to mental anxiety.
Are you trying to say they
Or
should not
fear.
fear pregnancy?
You know, some people, because they lack knowledge on the pregnancy and the pregnancy itself, especially the young youth, the young girls, they fear pregnancy than HIV. You get me? And that's why after having sex, they run to the pharmacy to get P2 to just prevent pregnancy, and not running to hospital to just get partner test, and they have what we call PEP today. If you look at the speed they run for P2 to get P2 to prevent pregnancy compared to the one for the one for preventing HIV, you find the speed is too high for the pregnancy prevention. So that is anxiety. Then there is fear of infertility, especially it is common in the relationships. When a newly married couples, there is an issue of infertility. Normally blame is on the ladies, the female.
Okay.
On the first attempt, they normally blame female. Even the society, how they perceive it.
Sure.
They normally see a female is the one with makosa. Yeye ndiye haezi zaa. Lakini by understanding reproductive health, you will be capable of now knowing that it is not only female, but all of the gender can be answerable for the infertility.
Sure,
so that
sure,
is a negative impact, isn't it?
I get it.
Another one is fear of diseases. Sexual transmitted diseases can bring in anxieties that if I have sex, I am likely going to have sexually transmitted diseases like gonorrhea and so on. So there is that fear, and that is causing mental illness, mental depression. And that is, what am I saying? I'm saying knowledge from reproductive health can cause such mental issues that I've put across. Another one is depression.
Okay.
Okay? And depression comes when there is now diseases that I've mentioned. There is also grief and emotional trauma.
Okay.
This is normally common when especially there is issues to do with the loss of pregnancy, like miscarriages, abortion, stillbirth, infertility, and so on.
True,
so
true,
I
true.
think those are the areas that you see how impactful reproductive health can affect mental, either negative or positive.
Thank you very much. I think you've delved so much deep into how that can be achieved, and it's making sense. I think one thing that I've carried home today is people should have babies by choice.
Yeah, by choice,
not by chance.
Yes.
So if a chance presents itself, you should avoid chances.
They are not normally happy with the such chances.
Thank you very much. Maybe we come to Mr. Daluma. Yeah, I would want to understand as a clinician, what key SRH gaps, that is sexual reproductive health gaps, do you see between what is taught in school and what is in real life that needs to be taken and maybe taught?
That's an important question. I think if you look at what is taught in school, I don't think there's any reproductive health taught in school. Yeah. One thing is talking about sex in our communities and families is a taboo. You cannot bring a subject right, that you want to discuss with your daughter about
Sex.
sexuality. It's not very easy. There are very few parents who are courageous and who can come and ask their girls, do you have a boyfriend? And they can ask their boys, do you have a girlfriend? Yeah. Very few parents have that courage. Yeah, and that again is a big gap. A big gap in the sense that we wish some of the sexual reproductive health issues we are facing now, we were told by our parents. But somehow we test and try. Yeah, you've never had sex before, and a situation presents itself.
A chance.
A chance as it is. Yeah, and young people are good at this.
Yeah.
They're very good at dictating these chances.
Yeah.
Yeah, they hope on it, not knowing the consequences. Nobody told you that if you went with a girl without a condom, you are likely to get an STD. You are likely to make her pregnant. These are really issues. So in school, I don't think really we have teachers who are capable of facing their students, yeah, eye to eye, and then talk about sexuality. Really, that is a big problem we have. We
Mr. Daluma, if I can remember, back in primary school, we are taught how do we call sexual reproductive health? Was it class 6? Before this,
Class 6, yes. Adolescent class.
Yeah, adolescent class. You were taught there, and I remember our teachers mentioning about abstinence. Them mentioning about use of condoms. So when you say that there are no teachers in school that are teaching about sexual reproductive health, I feel it's contradicting. Or what is your opinion?
What I'm saying, the very basic teaching that goes on in school is too basic to help you in anything. Because you see, what they're telling you is about private parts. When somebody touches your private part, you don't accept. That's good education at the start of the school. Yeah. But as the child grows, there are other things that should be talked to. For example, talk about menstruation to girls when they are in that adolescent age, because they don't know. Imagine a girl is in school and she's bleeding. She doesn't know what is happening. She's crying, and the boys are all there looking at her. You can imagine that kind of shame. Yeah, but if this information is available in school, and comprehensive sexual education, I think is very important to be in schools.
Okay.
As much as we have a lot of opposition from religious leaders, from parents themselves. Parents don't want their children to be taught sexual and reproductive health education in schools. You can imagine. They're saying we are teaching these children bad manners. So there's a lot of controversy when it comes to provision of sexual education in schools.
Okay.
But it's an important thing that we look at the levels where the child is. Actually, we call it appropriate comprehensive sexual education. You give an appropriate education at that age.
Okay.
Because you are not going to talk about deep things a young child will not understand. So you go according to their age. And I think that would be very important for us.
All right. What Dr. is trying to say in a layman's language is to kuwe na CBC, sexual reproductive health.
Exactly.
Thank you. Now we get to Tom.
Yes.
Tom, I would want to start with a light question of, at what age do you think it's necessary for somebody to be taught sexual reproductive health? As a Gen Z, unajua Gen Z mnafikirianga tofauti na millennials. At what age do you think it's the right age for somebody to be taught about sexual reproductive health? Leave alone ile the parts of my private parts za shule. Hii ya nyumbani. Real sexual reproductive health. At what age do you think it's appropriate for somebody to get such education?
I think the appropriate age, it is, for me, according to me, and this goes direct even to, let's say, let me imagine girls, 10 years. At 10 years. A 10-year girl can tell you things that you've never imagined. I'm telling you, 10 years. And I think at 10 years, that is appropriate time now to sit down with your kid, to sit down with your daughter, to sit down with your son and tell him or her, this is this and this and this. There's a time you reach at 18 years, you will start experiencing menstruation. And I love this because my mom taught my sister at 10 years that at certain age, you will start experiencing some things in your bodies. And you will start having this, and it is normal. You understand? So when my sister just reached at Form 3, she started experiencing menstruation. I think for her it was not a new thing because she was taught earlier.
Okay.
I understand.
Maybe just to back up that question, why do you think sexual reproductive health is still a public sensitive topic to people? Because according to your responses, all the guests that I have today, you're saying that it should not be a private conversation. It should be a public conversation. So according to you, what do you think are the, how do you call, or what perspective do you think you can use to address this so that it's not made a private conversation, it becomes a public conversation that can even be talked out here and help people get the knowledge?
So first, I think SRH is a sensitive in Kenya, not Kenya alone, in Africa. And one thing is that people think like talking this thing openly, it is like encouraging the youth to do it. You understand? So we find a space where people will not talk this openly. They are going to talk in boardrooms. They are going to talk without making it openly for people to understand it. You understand? So this makes it harder for leaders, makes it hard for, no, not for leaders, for young people to have this information, because we believe the generation that we are living now, it is different from the generation that my father once lived. The generation that we are living now, it has more access in internet. So if you will not teach them, they are going to find them in internet. And it is worse for them to find it in internet because they are going to learn it hard way. You understand? So I think this makes it hard for this generation, and I think this should go direct to the leaders, and more so on even the religious leaders, both the Christians, Muslims, and Hindus, because I think even it is so hard to find a pastor speaking about SRH in a church, because they believe once I start speaking about this thing, I'm not born again, I'm not a Christian. And once a sheikh starts speaking this thing, they'll say like, you want to attract girls. You understand? So we have make it like it is a topic that youth should find it for themselves, and this make it hard for this to understand this topic, youth generation.
Okay. Yeah. I get you. I think that is very clean and that is very clear. If we can teach these things, for example, the way should I say the Ministry of Education have taken these HIV discussions. You know, HIV is taught from a younger stage. Even in campus. I remember in campus, we could not graduate if you don't take that topic. It was called, in Maseno, it was called PhD 112. If you don't do that, you will not graduate. And lazima uipite. So I think also that is what you're trying to say.
Yes.
Maybe we head to Mr. Gordon. Do you think SRH challenges are common for both men and women, or they're different?
Thank you very much. I think RH challenges here, it is common and different. It is
You're sitting on the fence.
The challenges are actually different in different genders.
Okay.
But not common. You find the male suffering different way, the female suffering different way.
Maybe you could give us one or two examples so that you can understand. But then you base them on the young generation.
For example, the young youths. For example, if you look at the long-term consequences or complications or problems that they face in the youth. For example, you find a case, for example, of cervical cancer. You look at the case of a cervical cancer. If you look at how the cervical cancer comes, it is something that comes from a relationship. For example, if a lady is having multiple partners, if you have a lady having multiple partners,
Yes.
and normally men are the carriers to the disease. Men are the carrier to the human papilloma virus, for example. You can have a relationship like you have multiple partners, and the lady suffers more than men because, number one, you find the lady is the owner of the pregnancy. Is it? Both of you can be the owner of the pregnancy, but who bears much load? Who really owns the child? You see, in Kenya you are told the female is the rightful owner of the baby until 18 years. So you are told like that. But both of you participated in
But
making
but
that
it should be like that.
Yes. So you find that pregnancies issues affect many girls, and men normally move away. Men normally abandon the ladies with the pregnancy, and that's why today we have several single mothers in the community.
But don't we have single fathers as well?
Not common as the ladies. And also, if you look at the cancer issue,
Maybe let's just make that clear. We agree. Don't we have single fathers?
we have single fathers.
We have
but
single fathers,
we have
right?
single fathers.
And then the population of men to women, women are many than as men.
Yeah.
True or false?
It is true.
Very true.
Yeah.
So therefore, I don't see the problem when now we have a higher population of single.
With our school fees, you can go back to the owner of the pregnancy and stay with him away from home. So most of them suffer emotional depression, while at that time, whatever is happening, the man is busy somewhere very far from the lady and is not affected. So you find that many women are suffering more than men. The issue can be like you can involve a man, but not the way the lady is involved in this issue.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's well noted. I was just saying it on a lighter note, but I really don't think I don't advocate for single motherhood or single fatherhood.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the baby needs both love.
Yeah.
Both parents. So it's something I always joke around. But one thing I know is I would want people to raise children as the way they got the children. In that chance that came. Yeah, so maybe we'd also want to say that we appreciate Mombasa Cement. Mombasa Cement has been supporting us through our programs and our sessions. We appreciate them for what they're doing. I think they also support a lot of these conversations, and they would want these conversations to reach the common mwananchi. Yeah, so that they can also be empowered. So for Mombasa Cement, it's an honor for the support that you're giving us, and we appreciate you a lot. And we advocate for our audience watumie bidhaa za Mombasa Cement. Hata nyinyi mkitoka hapa mtafute bidhaa za Mombasa Cement. Maybe tukuje kwa Gen Z. Mr. Tom. Ama ni Thomas. Yeah. Are young people genuinely involved in shaping policies related to SRH?
I love that question. They are not. Why? Let me give an example. There is a leader who was interviewed in a Citizen TV by Jeff Koinange.
Okay.
And he said, our work is to vote, but there are people who determine who will be the president. In boardroom, there are people who determine who will be the president. And I think those people, they never wanted Raila to be the president. You understand? So the youth are given space to talk, but they're not given the space to make final decision.
Okay.
Understand? They are given the space to talk, to view out their issues. This is what is affecting us. But when the results come out, whatever they talked It is not in that conversation. So there is no that platform for them to make final decision, because final decision are made by old men. Yes. So I think the youth are not much that engaged in this conversation. And let's say, let's go to rural area. You'll find a little youth have this idea about sexual reproductive health in rural area. A little have information about sexual reproductive health, and this makes this information, it will get clear, and you should go to all corners of the rural area, that you should start having engagement, having platforms with this youth, because a lot of youths in rural area, if you find, like I was making a research, 98% they are dropping out of school. Yes. Because a girl can say now, we have no food in home, and I see a boy there like Thomas is asking, I should drop out school. Well, I should go and get married by Tom, so that I can get that 200 shilling that I'll be supporting my mom each every day, you understand? So I think this information, it is low in rural area, and leaders and youths are not given this platform to make final decision. The final decision, it is important, that final decision.
I think you've also touched on something there that I don't know if it's a belief, but in the rural areas, I once had a conversation with one of my friends, and hearing her out, she told me the reason as to why she even lost her virginity, and she works as our wasichana wetu wenye wanafanya hiyo kazi. I know you know what I mean.
Yes.
And for me, I don't judge them.
Yeah.
I always like having conversations with them. You get to know where mtu alitoka, ni kwa nini anafanya vitu kama hizi. But ananiambia from her lifetime, ali grow in a very rural place. Yeye aliambiwanga sex is sweet.
Yeah.
So she wanted to know what is the sweetness in this sex. And you see, this is something that she was not taught at school. She doesn't know whether it's sweet or not. So she went ahead, tried it for the first time, felt pain.
Wow.
And then she was told, first time lazima ikuwe uchungu. So what was she looking for? That sweetness. So she went again and again and again and again, and you see, she became an addict in it. And then now she felt, oh, so I can make money out of it. And you see, that is how it became a trend. So at the end of the day, I think our leaders at the rural areas, they have a very big task to make sure that our girls have the right information. You see, like the belief of sex is sweet, it's just a belief that when mtoto mdogo amekuja kusikia, ama mtoto mwenye ako huko mashinani akisikia, yeye atataka kujua. The curiosity in them will drive them into making some decisions that may not align. So we get to Mr. Daluma. Tom was talking about youth being sidelined in the policy development. From your angle, from a policy perspective, are the current SRH frameworks responding to the youth realities?
Well, before I answer that question, I think it's important I address the youth involvement in SRH.
Okay.
Yeah. In my own board, Reproductive Health Network board, I have a youth representative. Yeah. Among the pillars that RHNK stands for is the youth and young people. Yeah. We have a whole department for that. The people who are actually now even serving in our secretariat are young people. You hardly find anybody above 35. So they are there, they're implementing the projects, they're making decisions, because there's one of them in the board, and we take his advice, we take his comments seriously, and address them where necessary. So the youth are at the center now as we go on. There are very few organizations that do not have youth currently. Because
there is, maybe to cut you short, there's a difference between having them on board and incorporating their ideas. Because even as a youth, all right, I'm told by my production manager we will go for a short break for a few minutes, and then we will be back. Hi. We are back. We're back to our second session of the conversation, sexual and reproductive health. Yeah, and as we were having the conversation, we've learned that there's a lot that youths are not being taught outside here. There's a lot that we are shying away from, and our youths wanaumia. Vijana mashinani wanaumia. So our leaders, we are throwing this mantle to you that you need to take the mantle to make sure that this conversation, this information reaches the common mwananchi na especially the youth, so that we can stop having some situations. Because my guess, I know it will be funny or painful in another way, but you see, in a county like Homa Bay, we have teenage grandmothers. You see, a teenage akona mtoto na huyo mtoto already akona mtoto. So it's so painful, and these are some of the conversations that if you follow them keenly, you realize that they were out of ignorance, out of information not being passed. Yeah, and that brings me to Mr. Gordon Owenga.
Yes.
How does stigma affect people's willingness to seek SRH services?
Okay.
You had mentioned about stigma at some point. So how do you think it affects the willingness of people to seek SRH services?
Thank you very much for the question. And this is what happens when it comes to stigma. Many young people who lack knowledge and they are suffering some other complications that are related to RH, they feel not to reach out for assistance when it comes to health due to stigma. One major reason here is that, for example, they lack knowledge, and there is this fear that is affecting a certain group of people in reaching out to the health facilities. When I want maybe I want to put it this way, there is this fear of being prejudged. Yeah, you find that the society, there is how the society is judging a young girl, for example, a young girl who is sexually active, and she feels that I should have family planning. She's sexually active, and according to her, she feels that I should have this family planning service done to me, because she believes that she's really sexually active.
Speed governor.
But she fears, because the society will judge her, that when she reach out to a pharmacy, for example, to seek for family planning, what will the society do? Will judge her. So there is that unwillingness to reach out for that particular service. Have you ever seen a young girl of 17 years going to maybe a pharmacy to buy P2, emergency pills, with an intention of preventing pregnancy? But they fear, like, should I send someone?
Or
Okay.
even a man. Sijui kwa nini
Yeah, even a man.
unataka kuumiza
Yes.
wasichana sana.
Yes.
Even a man akienda kununua CD, it's not always the normal way.
Yes.
Yes.
So also, somebody's telling me, it is not.
Just proceed, iko tu sawa. Proceed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So another thing, there is stigma that is affecting a certain group of adolescent, unmarried people living with the HIV, for example. The unmarried people who are actively in a relationship, and maybe they are affected by an issue of infertility, they fear reaching out facility or health centers to seek for a solution to their problem. You find that they can stay like 10 years. Somebody coming to a facility saying, I've been married for 10 years, but I'm not getting any child. Why 10 years? Because there has been unwillingness to reach out because of stigma.
Stigmatization. Yeah.
Okay? There is this group of, for example, a young couple has HIV positive, and for example, she's coming to get family planning. A young girl, HIV positive, and want a family planning. She's fearing of being prejudged, like, oh, when I go for family planning, what will the doctor say? The doctor knows very well that I'm HIV positive, and I'm going for family planning. The doctor will say I'm spreading it out because I'm going to, isn't it? I'm going to prevent pregnancy. It means I intentionally allow a man to penetrate without protection, and that's why you are getting family planning for your benefit, not to get a baby. But now you feel like, should I go for family planning and the doctor knows that I'm HIV positive? So the lack of knowledge. The lack of knowledge makes people fear. So reproductive health is out to educate. We are out to converse with young people who are still facing stigma. We equip them with information so that they know that even somebody who is HIV positive is allowed to seek such services, and they should know how to do it in another way after getting that such information. Okay.
All right.
So
That is, yeah. Oh, Dr. The Luma has something to say on.
On stigma, I think sometimes the single source, the biggest source of stigma is the private provider. The health providers themselves. You can imagine a young girl coming for contraceptives. Maybe she's below 16. Yeah. You look at her and you see your daughter. Yeah. And you start wondering, why is this lady coming for contraceptives? Ushaanza hii mambo yako ya sex. Yeah? That's the thing that comes out. And this is from the provider. A provider is supposed to be non-judgmental. Is supposed to provide services. Is supposed to provide non-discriminatory services without any putting barriers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get
because when you put barriers, then access becomes a problem.
So I think that is my third point. I was to mention that unprofessional health worker, because a person who is having all the competency to offer the service to an individual in the public, we believe that is a doctor and is equipped of the knowledge, equipped of all it is required to serve. So there is this something called unprofessional health worker who offer a service to the youth, to the people. So these are the people who can prejudge. These are the people who do not really know how to handle the quackism. These people are quacks in the field. They don't have the knowledge to handle cases like this. So that my third point is that, and thank you very much, Chair, because it is also a very important point to put across. Because you find that in all the facilities in Kenya or in the world, you find that all these facilities, they are not purely what? They are not purely owned, or people who are practicing in them are not fully, maybe all of them
certified or something.
certified. So you find that some are unprofessional, are quacks.
I saw the government was, the Ministry of Health was closing down, and they managed to close down a lot. And then my question was, you closed down, does it mean these people did not register? Because I think for you to operate a business and even have a facility, more so a health facility or a pharmacy or something of that sort, you must have followed some steps. So for you to get to that point and then now nakuja kubrekiwa, then I think there's somebody who was sleeping. There's somebody who did not do his work right. So maybe we get to Mr. Tom. There's a question here on how are youth-led movements changing SRH conversation compared to the past generations?
Oh, that's nice. First, the youths of today, they are bold. They are bold enough, and they are courage enough to find out what is sexual reproductive health. Not like a long time ago.
Have this.
Yes, thank you. Not like long time ago where the youths depended on their parents. You understand?
Yes.
Long time ago, the youths depended on their parents, and I think that is the right, Mr. Chair. The youths long time ago depended on their parents, and they didn't have the internet to access this. So if today we lack this ball to step out as leaders, we as leaders, those who call themselves leaders, because I believe a leader is someone who should speak something that it is going to benefit the audience. And some of these leaders, they are speaking this politics to benefit them, leaving aside sexual reproductive health. So if we call ourselves leaders, I think sexual reproductive health, even if you are being taught to stand in a podium, you must touch it about that. You must say this is good, this is right. Yes, like there is a leader niliingia online meeting na akasema mouth is not an instrument for sex. Yes. And yes, alisema mouth is not an instrument to sex. You people are using mouth like an instrument of sex. This is not an instrument. So he impacted a lot of people in that online meeting, and they had knowledge, because let's not lie ourselves. You'll find a lot of people, young people, having some sickness that they didn't have information of. His sickness inatoka wapi, umepata? So I think the generation that we are living now, they are bored, and there is internet, and at 15 years you find a girl and a boy who is owning a smartphone. So huwezi niambia hakuna kitu ajui, anajua everything. So tukikosa kuambia our youth kwamba hii ndio information, this is what we should do, this is what we should not do, na tukose kuelekeza katika ile njia ambayo inafaa, then the youths are going to find wataenda kujitafutia yenyewe kwa internet, na wakijitafutia kwa internet is going to be worse.
Mr. Thomas.
You understand?
Umesema vizuri. Yes. Mouth is not an instrument of sex. Jenzi wamekusikia huko nje wakikuattack mimi. Those are not my words.
I think that you know why I've said that. The one who said this is a pastor, Robert Borali. We all know Robert Borali. Afichangi kitu. Niliingia internet, afichangi kitu, na alisema vizuri.
Yeah, but it's true.
It's true. And he said, like, we youth, like, we think like tusipofanya sex tutakufa. Who told you that? There are people who are survived. There are people who are 25 years and are still virgin. Yes, you'll find a girl who is 25 years and still a virgin. You'll find a boy who is 20 years and still a virgin. Na hajakufa. You understand? Si ndio, Mr. Chair? Na hajakufa, and is still growing, and is still running. Ajue vision yake itakuwa wapi. So tusipoambiana ukweli, sasa nisipoambia kwa a mouth is not a tool to me. Sasa tutakuwa tunafichana nini, and we are leaders. We call ourselves leaders.
Yeah, it's very true. I was just saying it on a lighter note.
No problem.
I know Gen Zs watakuja pale comment section. Watakuuliza kwa nini unawaharibia maneno yao. Anyway, on to Mr. Daluma.
Yes, sir.
Today, as I was going through social media, I think it was yesterday at night, I saw a picture of a small boy and a small girl. Could be their brothers or sisters, but they were lying, walikuwa nalala kwa kiti. You saw the same photo.
Yes.
Yeah, and people spiked the conversation of, if you are a parent, you come to your house kwa kiti kubwa, the bigger couch, you find the kids lying in a way that people would consider uncomfortable or ungodly or something, because the way they were lying is huyo mtoto mdogo alikuwa amelala, and then the boy alikuwa amemlalia kwa kifua hapa, and then they were hugging. Na walikuwa usingizi. To me, it was a honest sleep. Innocency. Yeah, but again, you know what, Kenya,
yes,
they brought the conversation out of it. So what do you think about this? What would you say about this? What is your comment about this? Is it that wazazi tuache kuoverthink, or is it that watoto tuanze separate watoto? Because I know there are religions that separate wanaume na wasichana even when they're playing, even when they're in one or two activities that they do here and there. So what is your comment about this, or what do you think about such a situation as a parent?
As a parent, I think it's important not really to overthink, but sometimes even when our siblings hug, yeah, a simple hug, we don't overthink, do we? It's out of love, out of maybe support, wanting to support that person you're hugging, you know. But if you think beyond that, then it becomes a problem. I think it's a question of mindset.
Okay.
Yeah, the mindset is the issue. What are you thinking when you see a situation like that? Do you think always sex? Yeah. Do you think there is something illicit that has gone on? Yeah.
Because for me, I saw a good comment. Somebody said, these are kids who play together.
Yes.
They hug, they out of love, my sister, my brother.
Yes.
And there's nothing. So for me, I also felt like the same. But again, if you could look at the comments coming from Gen Zs and the millennials,
I agree with you. There was a time I was, I think, 9 or 10 years old. Whenever we went to the shopping center with my friend, a boy, I held his shoulder like this. So there's a time somebody, an elderly person, wasema, wavulana washikani namna hiyo. Then I said, it came to my mind, then what is this? Because it's something I've never heard. You know, it was just an innocent hug as we walk to the shop. Yeah. So I think it's the issue of the mindset.
And what would you advise as
parents? It's good to be clear sometimes what is illicit and what is not right, and always two rights cannot make a wrong, isn't it? If somebody is wrong, it is wrong. There's no way you can say a wrong is a right. For example, there's this issue of dressing. Yeah, dressing. As a parent, there are certain dress codes I will not accept in my house. For example, yeah.
Give us an example.
An example, I cannot have visitors, important visitors in the house, and my daughter walks in with a mini, a very short dress. Really?
Takwambia my dress, my choice.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, but this is my house. Remember also. I'm the head of this. I make the rules. Yeah, I make the rules. Yeah, as much as we would like to do our own things, but let's see what doesn't offend other people. Yeah, let's try to make safe spaces for other people as well. Yeah, as much as I want to do my thing, yes, I have a safe space, yes, but also consider others. There are to others, what you are doing may not be right. So consider them as you do your own thing.
I can add something on that.
Okay.
Like, I'll not mention the name. Sitaki kutrenda. There is this man of God who has a daughter, and each time wanapatana they hug. You understand? There is that hugging, there is that touching, and when you go through comment section, like, no, a father should not hug a daughter like this. A father should not grab a daughter like this. You understand? So I think it is a mindset, the way you are raised. The way you were raised, my brother is different the way I was raised, you understand? And the way there's a question you asked me, at what age will you introduce sexual reproductive health? There's a time ikifika kama a parent amefanikiwa vizuri, kuna place akifika afaa tenganisha watoto. Kama you are a man, mtoto akifika 10 years atafutiwe bedroom yake. Msichana akifika this age atafutiwe. Kama room ni ile moja, okay, we understand, but hapo kidogo kuna tatizo. Utapata there is a curtain here, they sleep there. So unapata this boy is nini sana kwa vitu, anajua vitu sana za
I see Godona has a contrary opinion on that. Maybe let's listen.
Maybe I can also contribute a little bit on the behavior that you saw, though I didn't see it.
The picture, yeah.
The picture, but what I can say is that kids are very good at mimicking our behavior as the parent. Sometimes you can do something in the bedroom in front of a baby that you believe maybe she's innocent about it, but they are very intelligent. When it is time for an intercourse in a bedroom, it is better you give Piriton to a baby to sleep. I'm telling you the truth. It is better you give Piriton to a baby so that a baby sleeps and you do your things. Because whatever you do in front of them, even if you think they are very young, like 4 years, 5 years, unaweza kuwa you have some intimal behavior in front of that particular baby. And tomorrow, when they get into the playground, they try to mimic, to copy paste whatever they saw in the bedroom. So they are doing it, but in them there is no intimacy at all. But the behavior is copy pasted, but you as an adult, now you are trying to interpret what is happening in front of you. But the baby is very innocent of what they are doing. The hugging is not really an intimacy to the baby. They are just trying to copy paste whatever they saw. So it is good for the parents of today to separate the young ones from an area of an intimacy, sexual and intercourse. Even if the house is it's a single room with a bedroom, see on how you create a what?
A partition, maybe.
A partition.
Yeah.
See on how ubembeleze mtoto alale kwanza kabisa and confirm he's asleep. Is when you do your things.
Wache kununua brufen, wanunue piriton.
Si ndio? Unajua, it is normally said human beings are like animals.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a young dog, a very puppy, doing what the adult dog are doing? Because human beings are like animals. So whatever the babies are doing are the real things. In fact, the babies are bringing in the bedroom in the public.
I get you.
And that is what I can say.
But again, I agree with your point of saying they're doing it innocently.
They are doing it innocently, but they are trying to copy paste whatever they saw. They are mimicking the behavior of the parents.
Sasa wazazi
So wazazi achunge.
All fingers on them.
In fact, hata chochote ambao mzazi anasema, unapata mzazi anasema, mwambie mgeni mimi siko. Mtoto anasema, mama amesema, nikwambie hayuko. That is how the baby is innocent.
True. Maybe as we come, I wanted us to give our last points, or I would want you to give us your parting shot. So in your parting shot, you can include, because I see my production manager is on my neck. So maybe we can just start with Gordon as we come this way. Gordon, what is your parting shot? What is that message that you would want to reach parents outside there, or a youth, in matters regarding SRH, maybe in 2 seconds or 3?
With the intense changing of the technology of today, we have realized that the technology is highly catching up with us when it comes to matters to do with the reproductive health. So it is high time the parents to cope up, to move in a high speed than how the media is moving with that, because whatever we try to hide from our kids is exposed to the public. So it is high time parents to be on reproductive health, and it is high time to hit the nail on the head, so that we don't just try to hide things for our kids, because as much as you hide, everything that you hide is exposed by the media.
Exactly.
And in the long run, they will know it whether you like it or not.
Thank you.
So I think it is high time now to hold it tighter than before.
Alafu you to have kids by
choice, not by chance.
Not by chance. Thank you. Yes, Mr. Daluma.
I wanted to bring a connection between politics and SRH services.
Okay.
Yeah, politicians are the ones who make laws in this country. They decide which policies. They decide how much money goes to the budget for SRH. So it's very important that politicians, we have a political will that is willing to encourage and to provide SRH services. Now, when it comes to Reproductive Health Network Kenya, we have so many members in Mombasa here. They're scattered all over in all counties. For those services that are not judgmental, you can come for SRH services, including contraceptives. if you have teenage pregnancies, if you have unwanted pregnancies, please feel free to reach out. We have over, I think, 20 members in Mombasa.
Yeah.
Yes, 20 members in Mombasa, and they are all available. Yeah, we have a hotline that is you are able to reach out in case you have a crisis and you want to reach any of our members. We have a hotline called the Nena na Binti. This Nena na Binti, if you make a call and you have your distress, you can get non-judgmental services. You can be sent to the nearest provider who can help you. Yeah, okay. And then in June this year, we are going to have a scientific conference that is for the young and adolescent scientific conference. That will be the ninth RHNK Pan-African Scientific Conference. It will be in White Sands, okay, from the 2nd to the 5th of June 2026.
Okay.
What do we show in this scientific conference? We bring out what we do best, what we have done in our for example, in our counties, what we have done in our facilities, and we'll also learn from other people, because people are coming from all over Africa, yeah, to attend this. The youth are coming from all over Africa, coming to attend this conference. So please, I would request the Mombasa young people to register in big numbers. I'll maybe be able to send you a link that you can circulate.
Sure.
They can register. The earlier they do it, the better. There are many benefits, apart from making connections, apart from seeing what other young people are doing out there. Yeah, you'll be able to learn so much. And then we are also trying to support young people. For example, those who want to present abstracts. We have a special session online that will help them how to write an abstract.
Okay.
Yeah. And the first session will be on 10th this month. Maybe I'll also be able to send you a link.
Okay.
Then you can take it round.
No problem.
Yeah, I want to tell young people we have a very difficult time because SRH services are now being underfunded. We know the Americans have cut a lot of funding. Yes. So there are going to be shortages, but we will try to mitigate where we can. Yeah. And we are trying to encourage our leaders and especially our MCAs to vote in good budgets that will support SRH services in the counties.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Because sometimes we rely on KEMSA, we rely on those other national entities. But I think when we work on our own as counties, as if we have MCAs who really mind about SRH, then we should be able to get somewhere.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Tusikize from Gen Z.
Yes.
In 1 or 2 words. Or in short, just make it short.
Yes. Okay. First, sometimes we may blame our parents. Like any parents are trying much. I think we as youth, we are much into internet, and I think some of the content creators in our Republic of Kenya, they are making work harder for our youth, because you can see a content creator going live naked. So what is she or he portraying to our youth? Maybe our parents are trying, educating us on the importance of sexual reproductive health, but once this youth gets a phone, ameona content creator ameenda live akiwa half naked with his husband, I think it's not making a good clear information. And second, let's say if I was given opportunity to reproductive health faster, I'll make social reproductive health